All right, everyone, it is time to get into book news. And I'm going to kick us off here. Apple TV Plus is developing a TV series based on Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, to star Jennifer Aniston. Jeanette's memoir documents her time as a child Disney star, coping with fame amidst her abusive home life and struggled with an eating disorder. I am so excited for this.
I am really interested how this is going to be translated into a screenplay or like a
show.
Like a show.
Yeah.
I mean, the story is fascinating, and the point of view and all the things that she goes through is really interesting. I think I'm just not creative enough to kind of see it translated into screen.
I don't know how it's going to work either.
So, but I'm excited. We'll be watching it because
1000%.
we both love the memoir so much. So we're probably going to have an episode on this in the future.
I also really love Jennifer Aniston in a dramatic role. Like, I think she's just so good at that. So I'm really interested to see what she does with it. I will also really want to see who plays Jeanette. I assume it's not going to be Jeanette McCurdy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I think in the book she said she didn't want to be in front of a screen anymore. She wants to be more involved in the like writing process and directing type of thing. So it'll be interesting. What was the movie that Jennifer Aniston made that it was like a southern pageant and she was like a
dumpling.
Yeah, that was such a good
that movie. Yes.
Yeah, so I can like as soon as I saw the casting announcement, I'm like my mind just went to that, and I loved her in that movie.
She was great in it. I know she's a toxic mom in that. I think I think it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it'll be good. Okay, in some very sad news, I don't know if it's sad. I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. But TikTok just announced that they're going to be closing their publishing company. TikTok's parent company ByteDance appears to be closing 8 Note Press, which is a publishing imprint that came out in 2023. Authors and agents are currently negotiating the return of rights to titles acquired by the publisher. 8 Note had acquired rights to more than 30 novels, and it was supposed to be doing a guided editorial approach, which it was building backwards, informed by online trends. Kind of interesting that BookTok is so massive and that this didn't work. I don't know. It just found it interesting.
I don't think it worked. Well, one, I personally don't like social media being in charge of other elements of things that feed its algorithm. And so I'm sad for these authors, but I don't know. I'm kind of happy that they're like decentralizing it a little bit. But the other thing is, like, of course it didn't work because your algorithm feeds on things that are already popular. So, like, it's not like it's really picking up and giving steam to authors that are more independent.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if they were just kind of picking up on the themes and then finding authors that wanted to write a story about the theme.
Netflix does that, actually, for things that they develop as original content.
So, yeah, I'm wondering that's kind of what they were going to, and it just didn't pick up enough momentum for them to kind of get it going. Yeah, I'm mostly more sad for, like, the authors and, like, the people that they made deals with because it's probably kind of has set them back for a while now.
Oh, probably, for sure.
So yeah, it's kind of sad. So anyways, no more BookTok imprint, guys.
Okay, our next story is a fun one and one that I kind of understand, which is a man steals $10,000 worth of Nintendo games from public libraries. Look, I don't love that he stole from the public library, but I do get the love of Nintendo. The man was connected to at least 7 different burglaries in Northern California between April and June. The Marin Sheriff's Office has been able to recover some of the stolen games, but not all of them. He just wanted to play.
Listen, games are expensive. Some of these AAA games are like $70, $80 now, which is kind of insane. So I get it.
But we're defunding our public library, so they can't afford it right now. So don't do it.
Please don't do that. Don't go steal from the libraries.
Go steal from the big guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Not only that, that's the service of the public library. Go borrow the games, play them, and then give it to somebody.
You don't have to steal it. They'll give it to you for free. Yeah,
so
true.
Shame on you for stealing from the libraries, but we get it, man. Games are expensive.
Games are expensive.
On some other interesting news, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle is going to be getting a movie adaptation. The movie is going to star Penn Badgley and Megan Fahey, and the movie is being done by Amazon MGM. It's a romantic comedy following a couple who are about to get married, except for one thing: they've fallen completely out of love. With the wedding rapidly approaching, they're both resolved to secretly push the other into calling off the wedding using all means at their disposal. It is a romantic comedy, so it does have a happy ending. I'm actually have this in my TBR, so I'm going to be reading this because it's such a cute premise.
I love both of these actors so much. I find them both absolutely darling and attractive and wonderful. And have you been watching any of the press tour, like the online stuff that they're putting out?
No.
Okay, so it is in their respective social medias because I guess they've worked together before on Gossip Girl. And they've been like kind of taking jabs at each other, like fun little jabs, like, oh, Penn Badgley will be like, oh, Megan Fahey says that we made her career, but I don't even remember her on the show. And it's just like silly, like fun little, like the opposite of Anyone But You. You remember that?
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
it's
yes.
that minus all of the awkwardness and cheating. It's very fun.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I really like them too. And fun. Do you remember that show on I forget what it on Freeform, and it's called The Bold Type? That's how I met Megan Fahey.
Yeah.
And she was so great in that show.
She's so cute. She's great in White Lotus as well. Like, yeah, I love her.
I like her
Gorgeous
a lot.
as
Yeah,
well.
she's great.
Okay, and then the last story that we have today, continuing on with our theme of discussing AI, which is everything in the book news recently. One of Book Talk's big three is in hot water for promoting an AI company. At Marianne Reads accepted a brand deal from an AI company, Character AI, that allows you to interact with your favorite characters using AI. She said that she loves to interact with the app when she's in a reading slump. And I think we should just get into it because I know that you have thoughts on this. I have thoughts on this.
This was just turned into and this is like that Marianne Reads has been in hot water for like two other things so far this year. So the first one was that she accepted a partnership with Amazon for Amazon Books on Independent Bookstore Day, which, as we know, that is a holiest of days, and we don't mess with that.
No.
So that was the big thing. I think back in April that she got in trouble for that
and then
one.
she made the sexual comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she posted a character from a book, and Mariana said, "Give me hair tie in 2 minutes," and it turns out the character was not 18.
It wasn't underage. Gross. Yeah. And then we have this one. So it has been like a thing after the other. And then we had multiple authors came out and doing like shade at her. Rachel Gillick, we know her. Navesta Allen, which we were just talking about her. So we have a whole bunch of authors just kind of coming out into the topic and kind of I think they kind of knew that like she's just doing this to kind of get the money without and trying to benefit from the book community, even though she's like personally impacting and promoting things that go against the benefits for other authors and people that are really creative, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and then there was that other author. What was her name? Jessa
Hastings? No.
Jessa Hastings.
Yeah.
Yes, you're exactly right. Who was like basically in support of AI because she was talking about how she writes a series called Magnolia Park. Yeah. That is a romance series that involves a person of color, and so she basically like made some art using AI. People were really critical of the way that the art interpreted the main character. And she basically like went on this rant saying like, oh, you don't use maps, you don't use social media, which has an algorithm. And people very rightly pointed out like that's not the same as generative AI. That's a learning AI model, but it's not generative AI, which is just culling mass amounts of data from the internet and then creating something basically from scratch, not recommending things based upon your interactions with that application. So again, like it was just one of those things where it was, or she compared it to a Roomba, and it's like,
nope.
This just really tells you how people don't understand the technology. Generative AI is not the same as a Roomba, just FYI. Like that's a pre-coded like learning algorithm. So yeah, it was really distressing.
Yeah, it just kind of, I think to your point earlier, is just people talking about a topic that they don't truly understand and the repercussions of it and how it's going to impact a whole bunch of different people. I think from the author's point of view, it's using a lot of their copyright, things that they own, and they're not getting any money from using what they've created, right. And people are just using this left and right. Not only that, like we have really creative artists out there that can potentially be giving you amazing artwork for your characters, and the book community is so tight together and supportive that by people supporting a lot of these AI situations, it's just goes against everything that we kind of have worked together in the book community.
Well, and I personally, like, I don't know if you've seen a lot of the AI art for every series that we've looked in. The characters all sort of look the same in the way that like they look very plastic surgeried. They look like Love Island characters. They all have the same filler in the same places. They're pulling from very specific set of beauty standards, which I think really boxes in what we love about books, which is that they can push the boundaries of like what we are attracted to in a character. Like that's good characterization. And so to put them in this box of like, well, this is like they're all Kardashianized. It's annoying.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Anyway, I'm sure we'll have more to talk about on the subject moving forward. But
yeah. Interesting. And like, this whole conversation also introduced me to like the Book Talk Big Three, which these are people that I honestly had never heard of. Like now I've heard like, Mariana Reads because of all of the different controversies. But then there's these two other people, a person named Larry and then somebody else.
Person named Larry.
I don't know. Yana Reads is the other one. And it's funny how the algorithm works because these people have over 500,000 followers each, and I have never come across their content.
Because we're not interested.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get into depth, like, we follow a lot of big creators.
Yeah.
But they're creators, I think, that have like a genuine love for different kinds of books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of interesting. So anyways, I think that's all we had for book news.